I am Erin Patten, metaphysical master in a millennial age, and it is my life's purpose to guide you and organizations along an enlightened path. So I invite you to sit comfortably and tune in as I welcome you to the Meta Business Millennial, where we get the real conversations you won't get in the boardroom so that we understand this is exactly the path we need to be on in order to grow, evolve, and thrive. Greetings. I am Erin Patten, also known as Master L, and welcome to the Meta Business Millennial podcast. I am so grateful to have you joining me today on this beautiful Meta Monday, the start of the week. And we are going to make sure that we start this week off with inspiration, with motivation, with all the good vibes you need to really activate your energy and be the best leader that you can be, okay? And if you haven't already, I invite you to subscribe to my channel at I am Erin Patten. Also follow the podcast at Meta Business Millennial. And if you feel called, go ahead and like this video, share it with a friend, and drop me a comment and let me know what you think. So now we're going to get into today's message because I really feel this deeply in the field that there are a lot of people out there, whether in senior leadership or director roles, that are managers, are really loving their work. Okay, they're really committed to it. They're passionate about it. They really have dedicated their lives to it. Yet there's something about the organization that they're in that's toxic. Whether it's other leaders or other colleagues, or maybe there's some shifts or changes happening in the organization, and they want to be able to stay. You're feeling called to stay because this is what you love to do, but things have to change. And I love to talk about this because not everyone needs to leave and start a new job. Not everyone needs to leave and start their own companies. We need change agents. We need enlightened leaders everywhere, both in organizations that are toxic and need to be healed, and also creating new organizations. We need them inside and outside, all over the world. And so I really want to just continue to articulate that and encourage people who are in these positions that you don't have to leave. If you don't want to leave, if you don't feel called to leave, it's really challenging, it's toxic, all the above. You don't have to leave. You honestly can make changes and make shifts exactly where you are. So let's go ahead and start diving more deeply into how you can do this, and also maybe even why you should. And maybe it's important to start with the why, because that should always be the motivation for all that you do, is asking yourself why. And I was inspired to talk about this because I met with someone yesterday who was in this exact same position. And I feel like for us, we didn't really get a chance to dive too deeply in the why, yet I feel called to really kind of channel it for that conversation, and also for the field, the why. And and the why really has to be aligned with who you are and what you feel. And I feel like there are always going to be signs, either from God, from friends, from the universe, however you call it, that are going to direct you and direct your path. Particularly if you're tuning into this podcast, you're paying attention to signs, okay? And probably well beyond that. And so it's really important to make sure that you're heeding the signals that you're getting from the universe, heeding the signals that you're getting from God, so okay, why am I doing this? And it may not be crystal clear. However, you know that there's growth there. You know that there's growth in the lesson. You know that there's growth in the toxicity. You know that there's growth in the shit, because essentially that's how plants grow. They need fertilizer, they need shit to be able to be nourished and to grow and to thrive. So generally, if you're finding yourself in this challenging situation or in this toxic environment, if you will, it's likely because there is a lesson that needs to be gleaned from it for you, for your growth. And though you may not feel called to leave right now, or maybe not even in the future, there could be an opportunity for it. That doesn't matter. What matters is where you are now and focusing on where you are now. And so the why then becomes, okay, why? Why am I doing this, God? Like, why am I in this situation? Okay, there's something I need to learn about myself. There's something challenging about this in me that I'm resisting in me that I need to release and let go of. And for people, it can look like many different things. It could be, dealing with authority. I really have a lot of challenges, working with my boss or working with my boss's boss. And, the challenge is knowing that there's somebody out there that doesn't like me, that's talking bad about me. Okay. Now that you're aware of that, how can I become more assured in my being of who I am, what I have to offer, what I do? That, particularly for you, could be the situation, an opportunity for you to become so sure of yourself, so confident of who you are and your abilities that you needed that contrast of whoever that was externally to show you that, to teach you that. So the why can come in so many different forms. I mean, the why could also be, say, let's say, lots of people are getting laid off or leaving, and you're still there. Actually, you might have gotten a bonus. Okay. Why, God? Like, why the universe is this happening to me? Okay. There is a reason I need to be here. I have a lot of positivity to add. I have a lot of good ideas. This is an industry that I could truly change and shift. And we need that, collectively, we need change agents. We need innovators. We need free thinkers. And this could be the why. Okay, I'm here. It's toxic, it's challenging, but I have ideas to contribute. I can bring, a company like the Meta Business World and Erin into the organization, and we can really make changes. We can really start to shift this company from how we used to do business in the past to how we can do business for the future and actually be sustainable, actually embody a lot of the principles that we need to make sure we're eco-friendly, to make sure we're treating people like human beings or like divine beings in human form or conscious beings, to make sure that we're not harming anyone else in the process. Aren't using slave labor. We're compensating people at fair rates. We're making sure we're creating fair conditions for our workers. So the why could be varied. I just gave a couple examples there. Yet you honestly should start to uncover the why because the why will hold you anchored in the work 100%. And for me, my why I do this work, why I show up as the metaphysical master in a millennial age for the meta business world every day, all day, my why is because I believe in my power to shift the trajectory of the business community for higher good. Actually, that's been my intention for the past 10 years, 12 years. When I started going to Harvard and I joined the joint master's program at the Kennedy School and the Harvard School of Business, my intention was to create a social enterprise. I mean, of course, at the time, social enterprises were, like one for one Tom's shoes or, very, very few options out there. Like maybe Warby Parker came out a couple years later, giving away sunglasses. Yet I felt like there was something deeper that needed to be done for the world through business. That's my why. And so I go into organizations that may be considered toxic, or I work with people who may have serious challenges in their personal lives and their organizations to help heal and clear the toxic energy so that it's pure and good and healthy and wealthy. This is a new definition of wealth. This is a new era of wealth that I embody, that I teach, and that I promote, if you will. I'm a wealth advisor, wealth manager, wealth leader, and wealth as we knew it or have known it to be was really around how many coins you have in the bank, and that's one indicator. Yet you have to also consider how were those coins procured? Was it through exploitation? Was it through fear mongering? Was it, inherited, also through those means as well? Additionally, like, what were you enjoying the process and making that money? Was it harming you just to make those coins? Like, you go to work every day, you're so upset, you're dreading getting out of the bed, you're stressed out, you're not sleeping, you're not eating. Then the value of that money, that wealth, significantly diminishes. Significantly diminishes. So we have to come into a new and higher understanding of what wealth is. Wealth, of course, yes, is the monetary gains that we need to as a tool to navigate this realm, this reality. And at the same time, wealth is our well-being, our state of mind, our physical health, how we eat, how we treat other people, our emotions, our emotional capacity, our emotional expression. There is a more essentially holistic view of wealth that we have yet to explore and that I am bringing to the collective on a daily basis. This is my job. This is my mission, actually. And so, going back to you and how you're feeling in your organization, particularly how you can be a change agent, understanding these aspects of wealth and how you need to, of course, care for yourself in the process, this gets us to the how. Because we talked about the why, like exploring why am I doing this, understanding that maybe I need to, develop some skills, maybe I need to create some innovations in this space. And then how can you consistently show up in honor of yourself? That's the next piece. So the how really looks like, of course, doing the work for you. And this is why I say earlier, like you would bring someone like me in, or you'd work one on one with someone like me who can really support you in managing your energy, growing your energy, clearing your field so that you could allow more gifts and more opportunities into your space so that you can really make massive change. And, I'm all about the shameless plugs because essentially, the reason why I do this podcast, the reason why I do this work, of course, is to promote the meta business world, but it's also to promote the work of energetics, promote the work of healing in business, in your day to day business and personal life. We absolutely cannot move forward in this age without it. It's just not possible. We've not been educated properly. We've not been programmed properly. We've not been living right. We've not been having the best thoughts. We haven't been treating ourselves well. We haven't been treating other people well. And we have to learn new methods. And this is what I do. This is what I teach. I teach these methodologies. I teach these higher innovative methodologies. In addition to teaching these methodologies, is being able to have the energetics to clear away those things that no longer serve you. And when I say clear away, really tapping into your limiting beliefs system, really listening and hearing from you what it is that's blocking you. Because essentially, we are creators and creators of our own reality. We're creators of our own reality. So we call forth experiences in our lives as these magnetic beings that we are, based on our vibration. And as we desire, our soul desires to ascend to higher levels, we call forth even more challenging situations to really teach us. And if we're not doing the clearing work, if we're not working on healing those lower aspects of ourselves, then we kind of reach a plateau. I hear it from a lot of leaders. I feel stuck. I've been working for 15, 20 years and I am unhappy and I don't know what to do and I'm kind of on a hamster wheel. I hear from my peers all the time I'm stuck. So if you're feeling stuck, it's time to grow. And the best way to grow is to work with someone who's able to give you that advice that's a little bit ahead of you, that's been able to work through some of the same challenges you have. And it's almost like a cheat code. It's like, okay, this person's been there before. I can really learn from him or her. And on top of that, I need to explore the things that's been holding me back, my fears, my doubts, my insecurities. Because trust me, I've been doing this work now very intentionally for years, and I still have insecurities. Last night, I was just talking about, things that were happening in my childhood around just me not being accepted by other girls. And I know this is kind of like a very probably uh, you know, popular, for lack of better words, experience or shared experience by many young girls being bullied or being hated because they were too smart or too pretty. It's really part of our beingness. This was painful. These were painful experiences, and we didn't have the tools, especially not at a young age, on how to deal with that hate being projected and thrown at us. So now at this big age that I am, I'm still attracting these horrible experiences from women hating on me, taking from me, people who I call my friends. And so when we're not healing those aspects of our younger self or our lower self, however you want to, ascribe it, those insecurities, those doubts, then we're going to still attract those lower experiences and lower consciousness people who are going to continue to leech off us or be vampires. And that was my experience recently from someone who I thought was a good friend. And so, we really have to start to acknowledge that the work in our lives is not just the work we do to earn money. The work we do in our lives is really focused on bettering ourselves, lifting up our vibration, feeding our soul, treating ourselves right, honoring ourselves. And that's the how. How can I be a change agent? Well, you first have to change yourself. I love this phrase. I always say, change your energy, change your life. Because the more you shift your energy, the more you see your life shift. The more you see the situations around you shift, the opportunities that come to you shift. Like, Lord, I was at the White House 2 weeks ago, sitting right in front of Kamala Harris talking. I mean, of course, like there was a point in my life where I knew I would go to the White House and maybe tour it, but not be there on special assignment with a special delegation of, of leaders, descendants of historically Black figures, right in front of the vice president. These are experiences I never could have predicted. Yet I'm in these spaces, and I'm in these spaces because of the energy that I carry and my mission in life to heal the collective. So, of course, I would be present in a situation where it's all about healing past abuses to an entire generations of people. So, I'm speaking right now, as I always do, from personal experience. You change your energy, you change your fucking life. And, I really, I really feel like, that's a word right there. It's a word right there because so many of us know that we need to do the work, but we don't know how. We don't know how. And oftentimes we also are reluctant to make the investment because trust me, there was a point in my life too, the monetary investment in your self-development, ongoing, month after month, for years. Yet that is the payment for freedom, for your soul's freedom. And when we talk about wealth, That's how you start to create the wealth that you truly seek. The wealth that you truly seek comes from within. It comes from you. So as you start to invest in that healing for yourself, invest in that mentorship with me, invest in that growth for your energy body, your life, your physical body, your relationships, your family. It then spills over, of course, into your business. And this is how you become the change agent, particularly if you're committed to it. And this is the piece that I believe is needs to also be explored and expounded and expanded is the characteristics that it takes to actually be successful in this work. Discipline, discipline, commitment, period. You have to be willing to want to show up for yourself. You have to be willing to want to show up for change. I mean, you don't have to be perfect in it. There are so many days when I wake up mad or, I'm frustrated or, something that my son does triggers me. There are so many emotions that are constantly coming up for me because, I'm on an accelerated path myself to do this work so I can work with a collective at broader scales. And I show up. I show up for my sessions with my mentors. I show up for my energetic coaching. I show up for my trainer in the gym because I desire change. I want to see change, not just for myself, but for the world, for humanity. I want to see change. I see already, the beauty that we can have in our workplaces, the sustainability we can have for our planet. I already see these things, but it's just like, how can I make sure that I'm ready to do the work? That I'm not going to be triggered when someone calls me a bad name or hates on me or steals from me. These things are going to happen. They do happen. They be happening to me. They be happening to everybody. My last episode was about scammers. We all have experienced these things and we will continue to. But how will we react to it? How will we react to the toxicity in our environment? To the people maybe not receiving us as we think they should. We have to keep going in our truth, in our strength, in our beingness. And that's how we become change agents. Oh, damn, like I can throw everything at her and she's still gonna get up and keep moving and keep succeeding and keep achieving. And God was like, oh, yeah, she can keep getting blessed. He can keep getting blessed in the process. That's the signal of the change agent. That's the sign of the warrior. Get back up again. You keep going. And I really feel like this is just such, as always, a personal account for me. And then also for the collective, for people who really want to change where they are. The change first starts with you. The more you are committed to your refinement, to your development, to your knowledge, to your wisdom, to your understanding, being disciplined in that pursuit, being committed to that pursuit, that is how you will get to where you desire and dream of for yourself, for your company, for your family. Every single day, you do that. And so I just want to start to recap a little bit of what we discussed today because we talked about change agents in your organization, being a change agent in your organization when you feel the challenges, when you feel the pressure, when you feel the toxicity, the why. understanding your why. Why do I even care? Why am I even showing up for this? I feel called. I feel called in my being to make change, to be innovative. We also explored, oh, maybe there's some lessons to be learned from here that I can take maybe somewhere else if it doesn't work out here. Truly anchoring into your why, your reason for being, your reason d'être, like in French, your reason for being, raison, maybe. And as you understand and embody that why, then you have to get to the how. And the how is working with someone like me, metaphysical master, a coach, a guide, and really supporting you in understanding your blockages, knowing who you are, seeing your past traumas, working through them, healing from them, being committed in that process, being disciplined in that process, being unafraid to look at those ugly aspects of yourself, those painful aspects of yourself. This is truly the work. And then as you start to do that, you will begin to unlock gifts, powers, really superpowers, intelligence, wisdom. And as you clear away some of those pains and things, you make space for those gifts. And as you make space for those gifts, this is the how piece, then you're starting to create ripples effects, shifts in the energy fields around you, shifts in the energy field first in your own being, and then shifts in the energy fields and the collective energy around you. Again, the vibration precedes the manifestation. You have to vibrationally grow in order to make that shift in the field. It's mathematics, it's science. We are scientific, we are biocomputers, we are magnetic beings, we are science. We are numbers and zeros and ones and frequencies and waves, wavelengths. So as we adjust and attune our frequencies and our wavelengths, then we can thus adjust and attune the frequencies and wavelengths around us. That's how we create that change in our organizations, in our teams, with our colleagues, with our bosses. So I really feel like this is a great place to start to wrap up. I did the recap for us. Obviously, feel very passionate about this as I do with all things. And I just want to thank you so much for tuning in. And also for those that are really feeling called to work with me, go ahead and go to erinpatten.com, or you can DM me on any social media channel at I am Erin Patten. And we can really start to discuss or have a discovery call. I'll also include a meta clarity booking call in this in the show notes, so that you can go ahead and start to talk with me about being a change agent in your organization, being a change agent in your life. This is essentially what we came here for. This is why we do this work. And I'm so, so excited to do it with you. Like, this really just brings me joy. And for those that are still on the fence, I definitely have, resources on my website that you can tune into. You can also, listen to more podcast episodes at the Meta Business Millennial Podcast. And until our next episode, I wish you all so much love and light from the deep depths of my heart. Peace. Did you really love this episode of the Meta Business Millennial Podcast? Well, I am honored, and I appreciate you subscribing, leaving a review, and sharing it with your friends, because your feedback allows us to co-create more enlightened conversations. And if you're interested in growing your soul now, head over to my website, erinpatten.com, to find all the show notes, links, and free resources to get your energy activated today. In the meantime, stay bright, my friends. Much love and light. Peace.